Let's have a quick look around at this to compare it to the outgoing Y62 before we start tearing it apart. The Platinum Reserve runs a 22-inch rim, so it's a 275/50/22. Reasonable amount of sidewall for everyday use, but if you're going off-road, obviously you want to be looking more at that 18-inch option, which you can see there's plenty of clearance around the brake, so you can run a smaller diameter rim, and of course, in Australia, people are going to want to run oversized tyres as well. So the front suspension, very similar concept to the outgoing car, and a lot of cars for that matter. So fabricated steel upper control arm, aluminium knuckle, fabricated steel lower control arm. Main difference is this is air suspension, so air springs, adaptive damping throughout this one. And in the rear, similar concept, looks a little bit different to what we're used to seeing. So again, humongous air spring in the back here, where a coil would just go anyway. Decent amount of meat on the chassis, multi-link rear, bit of reinforcing around in the lower control arm that takes all the load. And a divorce damper setup, again with some adaptive control in here. So moving to the underside now, you see the front of the engine there, air-to-air intercooler, reasonably well sized under here. Electric power steering is a new change for the Y63. Jatco 9-speed transmission down here with a proper 2-speed low-range transfer case. Massive aluminium tail shaft, back to an independent rear, multi-link setup. Doesn't have a rear subframe as such because this is all welded together as part of the ladder frame, but there is this small brace system here that sort of supports the diff in here. And then, as we spoke about before, integrated rear tow bar section with a 50x50 hitch receiver in here. One thing to note is the size of the chassis on this thing. This is a really tall chassis, at least through this midsection and from the in between the wheels. We've got a tape measure set up in some foreign units. It's nine freedom measurements, which is pretty freaking tall. Like, it is extremely large, this chassis, and it's still quite wide as well. Yeah, so 5 feet or 1.5 meters something. So yeah, very big. It does narrow down a bit so it's still really tall through the midline here. Starts to narrow down as you get to the back, more a conventional size. So, but yeah, phenomenally big through the guts here, through here. There's huge bit of chassis frame in here.